The best stuff in comics this week.
It's time for another episode of the best stuff in comics this week. This is where we give you the other best stuff besides the best covers, the best stories, the best dinosaurs, the best anything else. This week's best depiction of siblings comes from FF number 1. So on the very first page, we see Franklin and Valeria Richards. They're talking to us, or actually they're not really talking to us, they're talking to Ant-Man. But you can just see just a reaction as they talk, and they kind of, yeah, this is what kids do. Best depiction of kids this week. They're so cute. What happens when you try explaining time travel to someone, alternate realities, past selves, future selves. Best depiction of meeting your past, your future self, something like that, comes from All New X-Men number 2. So this is where the original X-Men from the past, they come to their future, which is our present, and then you see Iceman meet Iceman, and it's just best time travel expression reaction this week. We all know Batman has lots of really cool toys, so the best new Bat toy comes from Batman Incorporated number 5. This is from the future, another future story. Not really a future story, but it takes place in the future. This is when little Damian becomes Batman, and so we see, it's crazy, so he calls in, Robat, tracking, maximum acceleration, engage weapons. Best Bat toy this week. Where does he get those wonderful toys? Where does Damien get these? Because he's like all alone now. Maybe we'll never find out. This week's best Kryptonite reference comes from A+X number 2. It's not even a DC book. So in the second part, Kitty Pryde is talking to Tony Stark. He wants her to work for his company for Resilient. And he realizes that her powers disrupt electrical things. You're phasing through them, shorted out all the circuitry?
Yeah, happens with any electrical system. And if you're wearing it, it's wicked painful.
So for me, having you here would be like Superman having a piece of kryptonite around.
Kinda, yeah.
Best kryptonite reference this week. This week's best floating eyeballs comes from X-Men Legacy number 2. Legion, just, he's there. Somebody's got to keep an eye on you people. Floating eyeballs. Best floating eyeballs this week. Can't have superhero comics without punches, right? The best punch this week comes from The Flash number 14. So we got The Flash, we got Gorilla Grodd. Gorilla Grodd's really huge. So Barry Allen's gonna punch him. He punches him a couple times, but then what he sees, nice try, but I'm not just fleet of foot, Grodd. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve. Crunch. Don't you hate when that happens? You punch someone, and your costume just shatters. Best punch this week. This week's best gut-wrenching cover comes from American Vampire, number 34. You look at that cover. Look at that pain, that emotion. Darn you, Scott Snyder. Best gut-wrenching cover. This week's best disturbing scene comes from Bedlam, number 2. So this guy, he gets taken, he blacks out, he starts waking up. He's not really sure what's going on. As he wakes up, he sees this dude standing over him, dressed, not even really dressed like this, and that's the last thing you want to happen when you black out and wake up. So, stay safe, kids. Don't put yourself in that situation. Best disturbing scene this week. This week's best weirdest way to shush someone, actually it takes place in 2 separate comics, Teen Titans number 14 and Superman number 14. In Teen Titans, Superboy is trying to shush Wonder Girl. God bless you? No, I mean, stop talking. That would be shh. Shit. What's shit? And that's not even, and then in Superman, where Supergirl kind of almost blows Superman's identity, not one word. Is that your mad face? Are you? Shh. Best, weirdest way to shush someone. Must be a Kryptonian thing. And this week's best turning of a vampire, turning someone into a vampire, not really a person, comes from iVampire, number 14. It's kind of sad in a way. There's this dog coming, Andrew Bennett, down boy. And he takes the poor doggy, he bites into his neck. But then you see, he's not dead. Well, he is dead. He's undead. He becomes a vampire. Best new vampire this week. How about that? Little doggy vampire. Don't want to mess with him. That is it for this week. There's been so many best stuff, and I'm sure there's a bunch of other best stuff we missed. Thanks to RipJim93, Just Joshing Leak, Winter Mute 2517, DJ Franco, Crimson Squire, Lacey Daw, The Hyper Geek, Barn Loaf, and Josh Co. If you would like to participate, if you would like to contribute, you can @reply me every Wednesday or Thursday morning. G-Man from Heck. You can use the hashtag #BestStuffInComics. I will take your suggestions under consideration and possibly use them. And as always, keep looking for the best stuff in comics. Don't black out and wake up with the weird dude standing over you. That's just